Alright, what's going on, guys? It's me, Lukewarm, and welcome back to I'm cutting calm. And today I'm playing BO2. I'm sucking at it, as you can tell. So I want to talk about Call of Duty and the new maps and content that they've been releasing recently. It started out so good, it was looking so promising, and then they just turn around and do all this shit to us. Black Ops 6 it's in a rough spot right now, and I don't think there's no redeeming it. There's really no redeeming it right now, and honestly, I'm sad because Call of Duty is honestly one of my favorite franchises of all time, and this is what it turned into. It just turned into a joke. Back then, when you said that you were a fan of Call of Duty, you were like, well, you were respected. People respected that opinion. But now, if you're a fan of Call of Duty, you're stupid. Activision ended up delaying the Verdansk map, which could also be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. If you're a fan of Warzone, that's a bad thing. But to me, I think that's an amazing thing. That's really good because if you think about it, now Verdansk does horrible, which I pray that Verdansk does horribly. Like, I hope that Verdansk does not perform good. They have to cut Warzone and stop focusing on Warzone. They're gonna have to put all their focus into multiplayer and zombies, which will give us better content. This is a good thing. If you disagree with that, I honestly think that you're just incorrect. These past few weeks have just been horrible for me because my goat Kanye West turned out to be a Nazi, which, I mean, we already knew that, but like, it's even worse now than it was in 2022. And then my favorite game series of all time just is going down the drain. Like, this is the worst one yet. They say it every year. Oh, Call of Duty's dead. Call of Duty, the Call of Duty is finished. Here's the thing. They say it every year, yes, but every year that this happens, it also gets worse and worse. And I think this is the worst one yet. I tried to wallbang him. And if you think that there's nothing wrong with Call of Duty right now, you're just blinded. You're just blind and you refuse to open your eyes. Because the truth is, Call of Duty is just not what it used to be. And this isn't me being blinded by nostalgia or anything. Call of Duty genuinely was good back in the day. There was community and there was actual fun to be had in Call of Duty, but now it's just a shell of its former self. The last Call of Duty that I had actual fun in was Black Ops Cold War. And that was in the beta. I honest to God think that the beta for Cold War was a lot more fun than the final release. And that's just my thoughts. That's just how I feel. And I think Cold War in general was a very solid Call of Duty. I didn't really have any issues with it as a whole. I didn't really like the campaign though. That's just my thoughts. Kanye's going downhill. Call of Duty's going downhill. All the things I love just gets destroyed. God is looking at me and he's saying, hey, do you like Kanye? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, too bad. He's a Nazi. And then he's like, do you like Call of Duty? And I'm like, yeah. No! But he's like, do you like Call of Duty? And I'm like, yeah, I love Call of Duty. And he's like, do you like Ninja Turtles? And I'm like, what? When the Ninja Turtle movie came out in 2013 and they made that song Shell Shocked, I didn't expect them to literally shell shock me. And okay, was the song from the Ninja Turtles movie soundtrack Shell Shocked, warning us of what's about to happen with Call of Duty? Because in war, you get shell shocked. I gotta say, I'm distraught and I am just mortified and destroyed by what's happening right now. Oh my god, I should have killed those guys. Oh, that would have been so good. I'm not the type of person to follow a trend or watch something just because it's popular. I watched Squid Game like a few months late, and I thought it was a pretty good show, but I don't want to watch something just because it's popular. I just finished watching the Dahmer show on Netflix for the first time. I'm like a year or two late on that, and honestly, it's pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good show. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that it spawned a trend where people were wearing like a costume of Jeffrey Dahmer during Halloween. Like, that was an actual thing. My friend Kanoji, he did that. He wore a Jeffrey Dahmer costume for Halloween. Even before I watched the show, I was telling him, like, that's fucked up, and he thought it was hilarious. I get dark humor, ha ha ha, but like, that's a real person that murdered real people. Like, I think that's pretty fucked. That's just me, though. My opinion might be unpopular there because it was majority of TikTok and the internet in general that did that, and I'm not TikTok. I'm thinking of going back to playing Modern Warfare 2019 because, honest to God, Modern Warfare 2019 isn't as... It was pretty bad, don't get me wrong. It was pretty horrendous. But if you compare it to Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing compared to those games. And I'm thinking of revisiting it because I want to really see if it's as bad as I remember. I might have fun, who knows? Yeah, my aim assist is really messing me up. I gotta turn that off. Because every time I run into someone, my character freaks out. Another show I started watching recently was Dan to Dan. Well, I didn't start watching it. I finished it. And My God, that cliffhanger. I could not wait for season 2 of Dan to Dan. I am so excited for it. Dan to Dan is one of the best animes I've seen in recent years. And I've been seeing clips of Dragon Ball Daima pop up all over the place. Specifically the clip of Vegeta getting threatened by Bulma that Bulma won't take baths with him anymore. No more bubble titty play from Bulma. It's just making me want to watch the show, but I want to wait until the dub comes out. I'm a dub guy, not a sub guy. And I love the Dragon Ball series. I wasn't a huge fan of Super, but I thought Super was alright. I didn't get much of the hate, but overall, I wasn't a huge fan of it compared to like Dragon Ball Z or the other one. Dragon Ball Z, in my opinion, is one of the best animes of all time. Another anime that I really like, you might say this is overrated, but it's pretty much perfect in my opinion, besides like the second half of it. I love Death Note. Oh my God, I love Death Note. The storytelling, the soundtrack, the animation, everything. Death Note is perfect. Attack on Titan, I've only watched the first season because the whole show was spoiled to me. That's why I never finished it. It's perfect. Perfect animation, perfect storytelling, perfect visuals. It's just perfect. This has been Lukewarm, guys. Peace. God bless.